So this is the famous oner, sometimes referred to as a long take or continuous take. We all try to get as directors. The bottom half of the screen is a close-up of the lead press person. As you can see on the top screen is the beginning of the oner, which is a great shot coming from her looking up to the two leads, which would be the vice president on the left, the male, Michael Peri, and on the right, the press secretary. So as they come around by the corner of the actual stairwell, I wanted them to turn at this point and give what I would call a face to the camera, so we can see in the looming background the sheriff, who is the next person that we're going to be introduced to. As they walk down the stairs, you'll also see off to your right a mysterious figure that is the same initial press person that is out of place. And we will pull the camera around, which I love, this silhouette shot, and we reveal her looking, taking notes. Now, the first thing I wanted the lead actress to do is to look at her and to give her that sense that she's out of place. And for the viewer, us, to feel their uncomfortableness that she's there and not with the rest of the press. So we'll have the first look of the vice president, the male, and then the press secretary looks over. And as we look at a picture of a drawing of an alien, we see the sheriff look and the vice president look, and eventually she gets the position of I shouldn't be here, and she moves to the back of the line. And you'll eventually see that she will be the primary alpha press person and will barge through. But let's go back to what we're looking at. One of the things we're looking at between the conversation between Michael Peri, who plays vice president, and the sheriff, is they're discussing what happened, but now knowing that the press is there, the press secretary brings the vice president in. And I love what Michael Peri does with his hands. It's exactly what I wanted from the actors, to create gestures, a sense of calm, and express themselves, because you can't really see their facial expressions, so we rely on the hands, and I think this is a wonderful moment in their acting. Keep in mind, my director narration refers, for the most part, to the oner or top video clip. So now take a glance for a second at the bottom clip. You see the cameraman from the news station. In comes barging through the alpha press female to belligerently ask questions to the vice president about the recent alien invasion that took place in a small town. And he, of course, is circumventing and denying it. Now, what's interesting, as this happens, you'll see another younger female who is trying to get in on the conversation, assert her position. And I really like the tension between the two females, which will eventually end up in a cat fight, which I really like the way it all played out. So I think the lead alpha press person did great. She's really pushing the vice president and speaking very quickly so nobody can jump in. At this point, you'd almost have to jump out of the oner, that is the one consistent shot on the top, except for the fact that Michael Peri is using his hands again, and I also really like the paper in the front with the press flipping the paper, which keeps us engaged. Now we'll go ahead and move over to a quick shot of the younger girl. She comes into the light, but then gets pushed away by the lead alpha press person, and then she'll raise her hand and get her chance. And I like how we utilize light to where she's in the darkness, but then she comes into the light right here and starts stating her questions about a potential attack on the Naval Observatory, which is where they're at. That could take place any minute now. So she looks at her watch, and now she looks back and confronts the other female press agent while a conversation takes place in the background with the vice president and the press secretary. And I like that foreground, background conversation. Now they're moving the vice president to the bunker, and he's getting ready to get out of the Naval Observatory, and bang! And in comes the military to take out the problem. Anyways, so hope you enjoyed it. This is Sean Weling, director of Mission from Outer Space, and you just watched the Naval Observatory sing. Thanks.